the semi-finals. This one here is a battle of two nations who finished second in respective groups. Nigeria finished second behind by Banyana. Cameroon finished second behind Zambia. World does be a day for the Cameroonians. Tulsile Meya.
Umbuzo omkhulu ke ngempela ke kodwa ke kuyothi ke kuphela ke i90 minutes oyobe ke esophendulekile ke lokho umbuzo ke njengoba ke sibona ke okapteni bobabili ke bayathosa kanti ke usiphathele ke umdlalo ke namhlanje siyamazi sonke owakhona ke la eNingizimu Afrika akhona umakhalima kanti ke bakhona futhi ke laphana ke ama officials ethu eVAR ukwenza ke sonke isiqiniseko ukuthi yonke ke into ke ihamba ke ngohlelo awekho ke amaphutha ke akhona ke yabona ke namhlanje iqembu ele Nigeria ke lizenzile inguquko zabantathu mobheka ke eqenjini ke abadlale ke nalo ke lapha neBurundi umkadli wabo ke uKanu oshamagoli amabili namhlanje bamthathe bambeka laphana ke ebhentshini ozobona futhi ukuthi ke oDenga oqalile umdlalo badlala ke i4-1-2-1-2 akusho ukuthi ke bafuna ukuhlasela baphinde ke bagade futhi ke emuva ukuthi abagadli ke base Cameroon bangafiki nakancane nje ephalini ke lakhe laphana ke uNadozi njengoba ubona ukuthi uPlumtree ubuyile ubekhona ngesikhathi ke bedlala ke nebanyana obengekho laphana ke kuyona ke iBurundi ubuyile bakhona ke oyinde uyabona nje ukuthi ke liqinile leqembu bafuna ke ukuthi ke badlulele phambili ngoba ke namhlanje umdlalo owomkhumula jezi elodwa lalamazwe aliyi kuWorld Cup ngonyaka ozayo.
Very important indeed here for our red for today. It is Akono Makalima, who hails from South Africa. He's the one in charge for today's match in the Battle of the West. It is Nigeria up against Cameroon. When they played against South Africa in the opening game, their regular goalkeeper was unavailable to start in an encounter. That is talking about the Nigerians. There is Cynthia Naduzi, who has since returned after missing the first game because of suspension. Key player for this team here at the back. They'll be hoping that today she can keep another clean sheet and keep them in the promised land of qualifying for the World Cup. Something they've done repeatedly in record time. The only nation actually played from an African point of view in all the previous World Cups in the women's football. So can they do it again? That's the storyline we'll be looking at here today between Nigeria and Cameroon. Look at the matches building up to this encounter. Nigeria lost against Banyana, then won their two matches against Botswana and Burundi respectively. As the man in charge of the Cameroon national team, Gabriel Zabo, given a huge responsibility to get the nation to the next round and to book a place in the World Cup. Something they've done regularly recently, the Cameroonians, just like Nigeria have done. Look at the head-to-head step between the two nations. There's only been matches that have been drawn in this competition over the years between Nigeria and Cameroon on 3 occasions. They drew the 2004 edition, and that was in the group stages before they were to meet later on as well in the final. They also played in a third place match. It was a draw as well, eventually won on penalties by the Nigerians as well. There was also a match where they drew, and that was in the 2018 edition. The last time they met was in the semi-finals. That game ended in a goalless draw, eventually won 4-2 on penalties by the Nigerians. The only time they suffered a loss in this competition against Cameroon, you got to go back to the 2012 edition, played Equatorial Guinea, and that was when Cameroon won by 1-0. Gael Debra Ingana Muit was the player that scored the only goal in the day in Malabo. The final score 1-0 in favor of Cameroon. All the other matches have either been drawn or won by the Nigerians over the years against Cameroon. Total matches met in between the two nations, 14 previous matches. Only once has Nigeria lost a game in this competition against Cameroon. So the indomitable lionesses of Cameroon, yellow and red is the number, and Go Belek pains an early ball, cleared away this time. And the appeal this time collected near side of the field now for the Nigerians. Coming through with Ajibade has been a revelation as well. Rasidat rather, supplier of the goal, scored a goal as well. When they played in the game against Botswana, she was absolutely brilliant. In the game against Burundi, she led. Ball collected here by Ebi. She's looking to go a step further. Of Perpetua Quart when it comes to the Nigerian records. Playing a 7th tournament overall. The same number that Quart has played in. But it was also very important in this year's competition is that we are going to have a new top scorer. Because the players who have dominated over the years are not there. Those players who have dominated this competition over the years are not there. Tembi Khatlana, the top scorer from last edition, is not here because she's out injured. Another player who was a top scorer in the previous edition, and that was in the 2016 edition. They're talking about Asisat. Lamina Oshoala is also not there. Your Opronozi, top scorer, not here. Perpetua Quart also not here. So we're going to have a new top scorer. At the moment, the Moroccan leading the pack in the scoring department. Free kick Cameroon. On the far side of the field, collected here by Maria Oona. On ball from here. Fit on ball now, chance in. Keep on the line, opportunity for a shot. Well recovered by the Nigerians. Done well, and a free kick has been given against Cameroon. The number of players on the play on the ball there, not allowing at all Chut to take a shot at goal. Ajara and Chut did well to get into the penalty area, but well washed this time around with Christy Ochaibi coming across to deny a chance to take a shot at goal in the first 5 minutes of this match. White ball played in this time here. Hinde, one of the players that found the back of the net. Far side of the field now. Cameroon dispossessed. Ngene trying to get there. Former under 17 international, the player that's wearing number 17 there for Nigeria. Francisca Odega. Another exciting talent from a Nigerian point of view. When Oshoala left, they said it is for her to step up and show what she can do. The likes of Sonia Ngozi, Okobi will all have to step up and show what they can do. Ocheibe amongst those, Plumtree amongst the starters as well today. Both nations have brought players who were born outside of their nations or their respective countries, but who are linked somehow to parents who come from their respective nations. And hence they brought a lot of those, like that lady in a picture there, Plumtree. Plumtree was not born in Nigeria, but she's born to a Nigerian father, and she's part of the Super Falcons. She's British Nigerian. Long ball, Nigeria, ball played in, keeper comes out, a header just over the crossbar. Well end up, and over the crossbar the ball goes. A lot was said about this young lady, Ife Oma Onumonu. Scored a brace on debut for the Nigerians in the qualifying phase. She has never looked back ever since then. In the game they played against the Côte d'Ivoire in the qualifying phase, and that was on the 18th of February, one of the debutants on the day for the Nigerian national team. Since then, she has been a pillar, especially with a strike partner not available for the remainder of this tournament. Still the Super Falcons in possession. Cameroon missed only one of the competitions previously. They withdrew from the 1995 edition, and they played in, they would have actually played just like Nigeria in all the competitions, and are tied with South Africa for 13 appearances between the two nations. Ball played in, coming across and killing away this time. It is Johnson who does well. Get the ball away. There's still Laura Johnson for Cameroon. Machibade is a tricky customer. Here comes Antoinette Payne. You have two Payne sisters in the squad of Nigeria. two were not born in Nigeria. Nicole Payne is on the bench, so they are siblings. Also have a brother who's a footballer. So let's see now Akona Makalima having a chat with the players in the penalty area. Ange, Gabriel Bau and Co. Corner kick Nigeria. Near side of the field now, lining it up nicely for the Nigerians, try and take the lead and open their scoring. Good ball there's now, going deeper. Shot coming in, and not the best of shots, I have to say. Belek. Shoot. Again, it is Odega. Gets a return ball, Odega. Towards the bar line, Odega still going. Cross from Odega. Straight to the goalkeeper. First time I saw her, she was playing for the under-17 national team of the Nigerians. She's since been promoted to be part of the senior team. Great player. Don't forget, later on, South Africa will be playing their quarter-final match as well. This time they'll be up against Tunisia. Fourth meeting overall between the two nations. Only the second in this competition that's coming up later on. So in charge of the Nigerians. A lot of criticism after the Banyana loss. Randy Marlon, well done from the US of A, saying that he kept a very slow and static defense. It is led there by Ibe, and they want a change in the second game, where Ebi and Ohale were really put to the sword by South African pacey attackers, led there by Jermaine Soposeno alongside Tembi Khatlana. But that's how the game finished. 2-1 was the final score. But this is Nigeria now in the quarterfinals. They've played in every one of the editions where they've featured Nigeria in the knockout stage. The same goes for Cameroon. South Africa, there's some main moments where they missed out on those moments. But today's a different story. Nigeria are playing against Cameroon. Who wants it more? Who will get to the semi-finals and qualify for the World Cup? Tulisilemia.
Aqhude maniki izindala zombili kusho njalo ke ngezulu ke Bruno Mangabe ke izinto ezimi ke kanje yabona ke la kuhlangene ngempela ke osondonzima ngoba ke lamaqembu noma ke lamazwe omabili amazwe ngempela ke ahlonishwayo ebholeni la khona ke la eAfrika kakhulukazi ke makuziwa ke ebholeni ke labantu ke besifazane kodwa ke namhlanje umlando awusho lutho ke olukhulu ngoba njengoba kumdlalo omkhumla jezi elodwa ilizwe lizoligeza jezi na kanjani phakathi ke kweCameroon nayo ke laphana ke iNigeria yabona ke lamazwe ke omabili eze ke kulomdlalo emagroupini ke njengoba ke ephume ke omabili ku number 2 ngoba ke iNigeria beyilaphana ke ku group C labe kukhona khona ke iSouth Africa eBotswana kanjalo ke nayo ke iBurundi yase ke iphuma ke ngo 6 points bewina ke imidlalo ke emibili base ke ebeshawa ke owodwa lo mdlalo ke owodwa abashawe kubona ke owokuvula igroup noma ke bebevula ke ngawo ke lo mqhudelwano bedliwa ke ibanyana ngo 2-1 emva kwalokho bavuka ke basithatha badla laphana ke iBotswana baphinda ke badla futhi ke nayo ke iBurundi ingakho ke manje ke bezithola ke sebengena ke la kuona ke ama quarter finals kanti ke mubheka yona ke iCameroon beyilapha ku group B bekhona iTogo ukhona ke neZambia njengoba ke ndakhona ke beqede laphana ke ku number 2 bena 5 points azange ke bashawe kuleya group ngoba ke babe nama draw amabili base ke bewina ke umdlalo ke waba ke wodwa yona ke iCameroon uzokhumbula ke ngesikhathi bedlala ke nayo ke iTogo obekuyilizwe nje beqala ukuthi ke lizodlala ke kuona ke lo mqhudelwano badlala ke idraw ka 1-1 ke kulowo mdlalo kanti ke lapha emdlalweni ke wokugcina wokuvala ke iyona ke igroup badlale ke neTunisia bayidla ngo2-0 Tunisia ke iyona ke lesithi ke izodlala ke nebanyana kuyona ke iquarter final ke iyokugcina bakhona ke oSamuel Eto'o bazokweseka ke ilizwe ke labo lakhona ke laphana ke eCameroon ke njengo president webhola ke lakhona ke laphana ke eCameroon Nigeria ke ifuna ke ukuthi ke inyuse isibalo njengoba ke kuyilona ke ilizwe ke eselinqobe kaningi kunawo wonke amanye ke amazwe ke lemidlalo ke yeWAFCON ke la eAfrica 11 times, kanti ke iCameroon yona ayiyazi, kodwa ke ama-final ke mane asebefike kuwona, kodwa ke abakaze ke banqobe ke neyodwa ke leyo final. Namhlanje ke bathola ke ithuba lokuthi badlale ke i-quarter final, babone ukuthi ke benze njani, noma ke baqhubekela ke lapha kuyona ke i-semi-final baze ke bafike egcineni, kodwa ke indlela yabo kufanele ke idlule ke la kuyona ke iNigeria. Nigeria ke njengoba ke iliphakamisa ke bafuna ke laphana ke Plumtree, awudlala ke England kuyona ke iLeicester City, ejubane ke laphana ke kuyena ke captain ongene uyaligoba ufake eboxini, asibone nje leli bhola ke, kodwa uyaluwina ke laphana ke uHale gijima Spain, odlalela ke iqembu leDeportivo Alaves, control umdlalo manje ke iyona ke iNigeria, uyadlula ke laphana ke uPayne. Quarter final ke yesithathu le, ngoba ke izolo amazwe ke amabili anqobile ke izolo, amazwe futhi ke azobeqala ke nqa udlala ke kuyona ke iWorld Cup, angikhuluma ke ngayo ke lapha eMorocco, osokhaya bashaya iBotswana 2-1, kanti ke ngaphambi kwalokho iZambia edlala ibhola elinenkosi phakathi kulo mqhudelano enqobile ke futhi, bese kukhahlelwa ke ama-penalty ke kulowo mdlalo, ngesikhathi ke bedlala ke nayo ke iSenegal ibuya ngemuva iZambia, ngoba ke iSenegal iyona ke eshaye ke igoli iqala, yabuya ke iZambia, kodwa ke ugoalkeeper waseSenegal ngeke akhohlwe, ngoba nje ubaphe isipho abaseZambia, wadedela ibhola, awasefika ke laphana ke Chituntu walibeka phakathi ke ngekhanda, zaseziya ke kuma-penalty, yase ke isala ke kanjalo ke iSenegal ke namhlanje elinye iqembu ke elizoba ke kuyona ke lapha i-semi-final, yellow card yokuqala yomdlalo eyaphuma, akhona uMakhalima uyinikeza uNthuthi, odlalise kabi ke laphana ke Ebi 39 years ke yena ke Ebi, yellow card yokuqala Ajara Nthuthi. Umqeqeshi lo Randy Wardrum odabuka ke eUSA, umqeqeshi ke kwayo ke iNigeria, odlala ke imidlalo ke yeWAFCON yokuqala akayazi, kodwa ke kuzothi ke kuphela lo mqhudelano uzobe seyazi ukuthi ke injani ke lemidlalo. Goalkeeper 22 years abawu laphana ke emapalini ke aseCameroon, bayiqala nje emuva ke abaseCameroon bafuna nje ukuphuma nayo, njengoba ke benikeza ke Cheno, ebhola lika Cheno uyalivimba phambili lapha uPlumtree, left back yeNigeria. Base singini ke esesenta manje eCameroon ke uzama ke yena ke lapha uMbeleke, ukapteni onohlonze bamethembile ke laphana ke ongene Gabriela ongene, oyalithatha ulibeka phansi unikeza Babda, banikeza manje ke yena ke uColette Enzana, uyalimosha ke ibhola labo laphana ke uAjibade. Nigeria ke idlala ngaphansi ke kwenkulu ke incindezi manje, ekakhulukazi ke kulohlangothi ke lesinqele, okhona ke osethintekile awuPayne, oyena ke lo othintekile ke ohlezi phansi, udlala ke eSpain, awudlalela ke iqembu ke iSevilla, oyasukuma ke uyaqhubeka nomdlalo, bakhona ke nabalandeli kakhulukazi ke futhi ke bakhona ke laphana ke eCameroon abase-Nigeria ke nabo ke bakhona kuthiwa ke aliphoswa ke le bhola liphoswa eCameroon bafuna lapha Abam eboxini alifiki kodwa ke ibhola kuyena ke Abam iyalithatha iNigeria ngakwesokunxele nje bayawunweba ke manje umdlalo bafuna Ngozi Okobi Plumtree midimleze kuyena ke uPlumtree oyibuyisela nje emuva kancane kuyena ke Ohale bayalungisa nje ibhola ke abayo ke laphana ke iNigeria esingise center manje ke base ke bewushintsha umdlalo ke bafuna ke yena Ajibade alifika ibhola ke kuAjibade lihlangana noPayne uyababiza uPayne base ke bemhlanganyela ke laphana ke Francisca Odenga ibhola ke lide lethola Ajibade naye ke liyamphunyuka ke liya ke laphana ke ku-goalkeeper alaphansi ke manje ke emuva ke eCameroon awufuna ukuzifaka enkingeni nje lapha awona awufuna ke ukujika nje umdlalo endaweni ke eyingozi ibhola ke lase ke liphumela ke ngaphandle waphinda wabuya futhi akuthi ke azomaka yabona ke ngalezi khathi emidlalweni ke wayo ke iMorocco aneBotswana besemabili amagoli first 10 minutes nje abesemabili ke amagoli ngoba ke igoli lokuqala lingene ngomzuzu wesithathu elesibili ke langena ke ngomzuzu ke wesikhombisa kwasheshe kwacaca nje ukuthi ke kuyadlalwa ngempela amaqembu ke azimisele kodwa ke la uyabona nje ukuthi basafuna ke ukubonana ukuthi ke iyiphi plan maphi ke amaqhinga lamaqembu ke afuna ke ukwasebenzisa ayafundana nje amaqembu asibone nje le free kick ye-Nigeria Okobi ophezulu kwebhola ke layo ke iNigeria oyayiphakamisa ke Okobi kodwa ke uyayivimba kalula ke eJohnson awushaye ke igoli ke ngesikhathi ke bedlala ke nayo ke idraw laphana ke eBotswana bedlala idraw ka-1-1 awuJohnson oyena ke oshaye ke lelo goli kodwa ke manje sihambe 20 minutes escore kusayiqanda kuyona ke iNigeria eqanda futhi kuyona iCameroon.
Big teams, big tournament, something has to give. Who will win this one? That's the big question. Two nations who know so well about playing in a FIFA World Cup and will not want to be part of those who will be watching a FIFA Women's World Cup next year at home. When he started, we had a total of 12 nations. Then eventually we're left with 8. And now at the end of this, there'll be 4. And there'll be a small problem to deal with also for those other ones to still try and qualify for inter-confederations playoffs. Long ball forward and goes behind. Will come in as a goal kick now to the Cameroonians. When he started, Group A runners-up, Senegal lost out yesterday in their encounter against the winners of Group B in Zambia when they played in their quarter-final match. Free kick given once again against the Cameroonians. It's a match that always gets Africa talking. There have been a few final meetings between the two nations. In 1991, Cameroon and Nigeria met in a final 2-0 and 4-0. 6-0 scoreline aggregate. It was how Nigeria won it. The second time, 1998 in Nigeria. And that was the first edition that was hosted by a nation. For the first two editions were played on home and away basis. That was when the Nigerians walloped Cameroon by 6-0 in the semi-finals, and that was also a match to qualify for the World Cup as the winner of that particular one, where therefore nation had qualified for the World Cup proper in 1998. 2000 match in the group stages. Corner kick, Nigeria. Plumtree has gone forward. Played a youth football for the English national teams. Eventually moving on to Nigeria. Long ball from Chancin this time. Plumtree does get there. Second bite of the cherry. Still alive. The goalkeeper toying and eventually does get the ball. Now they can try and go on a counter. It isn't Chute making a run for it. Chute does get there. Was the ball out? Was it in play? Out, says the referee. Joanne Chute thought the ball was still in play when she made a run for it. The referee said the ball already going to play, so therefore will be given. That's the corner kick. Plumtree just jumping so high and got there. And the goalkeeper had to come out and eventually collect. Great chance for the opener. Still looking to find the back of the net for the national team of Nigeria. There's so much to talk about. At the end of it all, doesn't matter how you dominate, but you have to find the back of the net. Nigeria have just given the ball away. Throw-in will be now. Nzana will take now for the Cameroonians. Nzana's long ball. Chested down by Chute. Brought down now towards Ngombelek. Collected again by Nzana near side of the field. Nzana whips in a good ball in. Header coming in. And this one straight to the goalkeeper. Straight at Chiamaka Cynthia Dozie. She's the main goalkeeper. Missed the opener, suspended. But she's back where she belongs. Here comes Nzana, near side of the field for the Cameroonians. Looks up Nzana. Closed down and dispossessed easily by Christy Uche Ibe. Does well, Uche Ibe. Long ball forward. Awona. Given away by the goalkeeper. Looking for a chance for a shot. Good recovery from Cameroon. And a free kick has been given nonetheless by the referee. Gozi Sonia Okobi was about to pull the trigger before she was pulled back. That's the reason for the free kick. Free kick given. Cameroon have given away possession in a very, very dangerous position. Nigeria will be looking to get the opener at the moment. Still no goal scored between the two nations. A chance now for Nigeria to try and find the opener. Ajibade is on the ball for the Nigerians. They were under pressure, they made a mistake and could be punished dearly by the Nigerians. Plumtree's near the ball as well as Ajibade for the Nigerians. Ajibade really had a wonderful game when he played their second match after scoring the opening goal for the Nigerians in a game against South Africa. Another former under-17 international playing in a second WAFCON tournament, was there in 2018 as well. Plumtree, long ball, penalty area away this time. That's a wasted opportunity from Nigeria. Ball collected here by Antoinette Payne, and Ajibade cannot bring the ball down, eventually goes out of play. In a football for Atletico Madrid in Spain, former teammate of one Tembi Khatana. Here comes Nigeria. This is Ayinde. Paying the ball towards Uche Ibe. Goes in wide towards the far side now from Ebi to Plumtree. Over the center they've gone. And well recovered by the Cameroonians to deny Francesca Odega a chance to go with them. Plumtree will take for the Nigerians. Ashley Megan Plumtree in the football for Leicester City. It's been around if you talk about football in English football over the years. Played for the likes of Leicester City from youth level before eventually going to Birmingham City. Derby County came through Notts County, University of Southern California, before making a return back to England to play for Leicester City once again, where she has been ever since. She made a debut just like Onumunu in the game they played against Cote d'Ivoire on the 18th of February. Shnodin Cheno. Throw-in given out to Plumtree for the Nigerians. Ball play short this time around. Super Falcons of Nigeria. It is collected by Antoinette Payne. Ajibade dispossessed. Zana for Cameroon. Ajibade does close it down and the ball goes to the player. Will be a throw-in. Marked as one of the star players for the Nigerians. Going forward, talking about Ajibade. The two Payne sisters were born in Birmingham, Alabama in the USA. One is sitting on the bench, the other one is in the starting 11. Ayinde is also amongst those players in the football in Sweden. Looking at Nigerian starting 11 alone, you realize that the entire starting 11 is playing outside of Nigeria. The only players in the squad who are playing their football in Nigeria are all on the bench. Talking about chancing now for Nigeria. Onumonu got there, but the goalkeeper got there before her. And a chance has gone begging for the Nigerians. So far, she has scored 1 goal for the Nigerians. 2 goals so far been scored by Ajibade. Also, she did have an assist in one of the goals. Other players have scored 2 goals. One of those sitting on the bench, Grace Kanu. Uchenna, Grace Kanu sitting on the bench, as well as a piece. Effie amongst those that have scored 2 goals so far for Nigeria. But as 30 minutes of football have come and gone in Morocco, it is still Nigeria 0, Cameroon 0. Tulsi.
Yabona ke iNigeria ke iyona ke manje ke iyacindezela njengoba ke sicishe ke sibona laphana ke uOnumonu efika ke kodwa ke late ke kuleli bhola kade bephasele lona kahle. Goalkeeper oBawu ke wase ke efunda ivaliwe wasephuma ke laphana ke emapalini ke wafika kuqala ke kulona ke leli bhola. Yabona ke iCameroon njengoba ke sithi ke abayazi ke ilendebe ukuthi isinda ke kangakanani isindo sayo, kodwa ke ama-finali bafikile kuwona ngoba ke lapha ngo-1991 babeqala ke ukufika kuyona ke i-finali. 2004 futhi babuya baphinda ke badliwa 2014 nango-2016 iyona ke iminyaka ke la abadlale khona ke ama-finali, kodwa ke bahluleka ukuthi ke banqobe ke ngasekugcineni njengoba ke bedlala ke nama-defending champions. 2018 eGhana ke iyona ke iNigeria ke eyayiqhukula ke le ndebe, bafuna ke ukuthi ke bayivikele ekhona ke la eMorocco. Asazi ke noma ke kuzokwenzeka lokho noma ke ngeke kwenzeke njengoba sibona ke uAbham lapha phambili amgadli ke wayo ke iCameroon awudlala ke eUSA, udlalela ke iqembu iHouston Dash. Azoyikhumbula ke le qembu ukuthi ke bakhona ke abadlali la eNingizimu Afrika abake bagijima ke khona. Jalen van Wyk omunye wabo ake wagijima ke kulona ke iqembu ke layo ke iHouston Dash. Alinda umuhlalo futhi ke omunye Cameroon manje ke ishintsha umdlalo, ibhola balibeka le ngakwesokudla. Plumtree bathi ke udlale kabi, edlalisa ke kabi ke okapteni ongene akhona uMakhalima ukubhekile ke konke lokho, uthi ke alibekwa phansi ebhola ke kube ke iyona ke i-free kick izothathwa ke iyona ke iCameroon. Emuva ke uyena ke uJohnson azoyithatha ke iyona ke le free kick. yinto ke ifuna ke amakhanda kodwa ke ihlangana ke nekhanda lakhe ebi amdlalo nesipiliyoni ke kule qembu layo ke iNigeria. Yabona manje yabapressa ke laphana ke iCameroon kodwa yasiphuma nalo kamnandi iNigeria. Asibone nje singise center ke manje ajibhade ke naba ke belibeka lapha bafuna odenga bayamthola ke lena ke odenga. Asibone manje ke ukuthi wenze njani ke lapha Olumonu indlela yakhe ke iyavalwa ethola ke ikhona futhi iNigeria. 28 years udlala ke USA futhi ke naye ke Olumonu ethola ke ikhona goalkeeper awubhawu ke udlala ke ekhaya eCameroon laphana ke noma ke udlala ke eNigeria odlalela ke yona ke iBayelsa Queens goalkeeper ke wayo ke iCameroon. Asibone nje le khona yeNigeria oyayiphakamisa ke uGobi efuna amakhadi ugoalkeeper uyayibamba liyaphunyuka ibhola laseke belithatha futhi kapteni banikeza yena ke ongene ibhola ke lakhe liphumela ke ngaphandle kodwa ke abuye ke lizophoswa eliphoswa ke iyona ke iNigeria plum tree ozoyiphosa. Yabona ke mawubheka nje ukuthi ke iCameroon ifike kanjani ke la eMorocco ngesikhathi ke bedlala ke wona ke ama qualifiers abashaye ke iCentral African Republic baphinda ke bashaya ke neGambia wona ke amazwe ke abadlule ke kuwona kanti ke iyona ke iNigeria edlule ke kuyona ke amazwe ke afana ke noGhana bayidla ngo2-0 nje beyidle ekhaya base ke bedliwa ke abaseNigeria ngo1-0 laphana ke Accra base ke bedlula ke ngo2-1 ke iaggregate score. Babuya ke lapha badlala ke neIvory Coast bayidla ngo2-0 baphinda futhi ke bayidla ke ngo1-0 kwasho ukuthi ke 3-0 ke iscore ke lapho na aggregate engakho ke bezithola ke bela bezovikela ke iyona ke lendebe balahla nje kodwa ke ibhola kalula laphana ke esingini ke esecenter ayinde 27 years odlala nje lapha phambi kwedefense oyena ke ovikela ke idefense iyayo ke iNigeria plum tree kothiwa ke udlale ke ibhola ke selingaphandle. Umsizi kaNompempe ke uthi ke aliphoswe ke iyona ke iCameroon oyaliphosa Cheno iyalithatha iNigeria kalula nje lethathwa ke uyena futhi ke ayinde bayiqala phansi emuva ebi oyabheka manje ke ebi waseliphakamisa ke ibhola ke lide bafuna odenga alifika ibhola ke kuyena odenga liyalahleka ke futhi ke kuthiwa ke alibuye ke lizophoswa ke iyona ke iCameroon ngakwesokunxele unzana uyena ke ophosayo 22 years awudlala ke laphana ke eBelarus eDynamo Minsk la egijima ke khona akhona ke umdlali ke wala eNingizimu Afrika odlala khona teammate yakhe oRamalepe abazana ke kahle kakhulu ke naye ke laphana ke unzana. Asibone manje ke le through ball banikeza Olumonu ngene boxini ulindi support akho umuntu ofikayo waseNigeria akekho ofikayo nange manje uyalibamba ibhola lase ke lonakala akufiki umuntu ukuthi ke azoriceive ke ibhola uyalibamba uyaligodla uyabalinda akekho ofikayo ke waze ke wamanga ke uJohnson ebhola ke wakhiphela ke ngaphandle abalandeli beNigeria bese bebona ithuba la kodwa ke iNigeria bafika nje late throw in banikeza odenga nange manje ke ebuya nalo pain kodwa atphoso futhi ke iyona ke iNigeria engxene enkulu ke yayo ke iCameroon Antoinette Pain uyaliphosa unikeza onumonu ebhola kuphumela ke ngaphandle enye khona futhi ye-Nigeria. Asibone ke ukuthi ke izokwazini ke ukuthi ayisebenzise ke iyona ke i-Nigeria le khona onumonu awumgadli ke wayo ke la i-Nigeria. Bakhona ke laphana ke eboxini ajibade nayikhona odenga ukhona bayiphamisa uyayibamba nje goalkeeper ngokukhulu nje ukuzethemba awubamba ke ucambalala phezukwalo abawu beyishawe kahle kakhulu ke le khona kodwa ke goalkeeper ke muhle laphana ke epalini onomphephe angeke azavume ke lapha ama-stats nje aphumele ngaphandle akavumi ke akhona amakhalima unikeza ke i-free kick eNigeria ngoba ke ama-stats abephakeme ke kakhulu akuyena ke u-Abam bayayidlala iNigeria ohale bafuna laphana ke uchebe i-yellow card eyesibili ke yomdlalo ke le yellow card Ambelek Genevieve uyena ke abambhalayo Samuel Eto'o president ke webhola ke lase Cameroon. Asibone nje le bhola ke layo ke iNigeria bekubuyisa ngaphansi eboxini lifuna amakhanda kodwa ke liyamakwa nje kahle kakhulu ayikangasuki ingozi ekhanda manje ke nathi futhi ithuba ke eboxini lapha othi uyashaya uyavuthulula ajibhade nalelinye ithuba futhi celeni kwepali bakhahlela ke bekude manje ke abase eNigeria bekuzama ayide 5 minutes ebhodini osele ukuthi siye khefini ama-yellow card mabili emdlalweni kodwa ke amagoli asikaka uwaboni.
So far the Nigerians are showing a dominance, looking for the goal here in today's match. Here comes Nigeria again on the far side of the field now. Early ball, penalty, the ball played across, and the goalkeeper almost being caught out near post there by Christy Ucheibe. The ball just went wide. Desiree Ellis was named as the coach of the best 11 in the group stages. And Dilet Lamine for South Africa was also part of that. Good numbers how they performed now. But here comes Cameroon. Early ball now towards Nchut. Cleared away this time easily. Away from Nchut. Ajara, Nchut, Njoya. Great player. I still remember when they played South Africa in the COSAFA tournament in 2018. She was amongst those players for the Cameroonians, as well as Belek, Belek. Ohale clears at the back. Onumonu's ball cleared away now. Long ball forward. Collected by Cameroon at the edge of the penalty area. Looking for a 10 and goes down. Nothing wrong, says the referee. It should be a free kick, I have to say. Akona Makalima got that one wrong because she had already turned and she was brought down. Cameroon, can they be punished by Nigeria? Ball collected again, marching on forward towards the far side for Nigeria. Edge of penalty and a shot coming in. And it went straight to the stands. This time by Rashidat Busayo Achibade. Good ball played in and dropping her left shoulder. It was always rising as it left her foot. Straight to the stand the ball went. That's that incident. Promptly should have been a free kick. She literally came across the player. She didn't touch the ball at all. Should have been a free kick. Lucky escape for Nigeria. Quart was in a very good position. And Akona Makalima was not far from the action, but she missed that one completely. And a lucky escape for Plantry. She knows that she did not get the ball at all, but she got a Cameroonian player, Gabriel Ongene. Gabriel Ongene went down and the referee said nothing wrong. Play continue. Gabriel Aboudi Ongene, 33 years of age, born in Douala, Cameroon. Played a football for Kenan Yaounde. Played also for Minprof before moving on to play for Rosianka, all in Moscow, before joining CSKA Moscow, where she's been there since 2017. She's been part of the national team of Cameroon from 2008 and one of the key players. More than 50 caps for the national team of Cameroon. Gombelek can't control the ball, easily out of play. Will be a throw-in now to Nigeria. Genevieve Edith Ngombelek, 29 years of age, has been part of the senior team since 2015. Forward they go. Here comes Nchut. Still Nchut. Laying the ball through. Nchut still continues with the run. And Nchut eventually runs out of ground. Ball cleared away by the Nigerians. This is a good ball forward. Isolated. Looking for a chance in. And a free kick has been given. Free kick given this time. And this will be, you can see her pulling the shots of the opposition as she was going down. She too was born in the USA. A Nigerian American, born in Rancho Cucamonga in California is where she was born. Product of Rain FC, Portland Thorns, Boston Breakers, University of California in Berkeley, before moving on to join Gotham FC. Free kick has been given. It is the WAFCON for 2022. The Women's Africa Cup of Nations for 2022. The 12th hosted tournament. The 14th edition in totality. Record champions Nigeria against Cameroon as we come to the halftime break of this match. And that's how it has been. The first 45 has delivered no goals. There's been one or two moments where it could have really gone the other way. But over and above that, Nigeria had a closest chance to find the back of the net. Oli Zondo, Gloria Brown and Mark Haskins are standing by to dissect the first half on the other side of this.
Sibonge ke lapho ku Brian Mufokeng kanye no Thulimiya iqanda ngapha iqanda ngale as Cameroon are up against Nigeria in the quarterfinal of the 2022 Total Energies Women Africa Cup of Nations. Only one can progress, but after 45 minutes of play there is still nothing that separates the two teams. Olizondo still joined by Mark Haskins and Gloria Brown. A lackluster 45 minutes, would you say, or the kind of first half that you anticipated for quarterfinal?
I wouldn't say it's what we anticipated. I thought maybe a bit more action. I think on the part of Cameroon, they're happy to just contain Nigeria at the moment. I think they probably have the impression, feel that the longer the game goes, the longer they frustrate Nigeria, the more it'll count in their favor. And so they really just concentrated on being sure at the back. They've made sure that their shape is flawless. They defended resolutely, and they're not giving Nigeria an inch of space. So every time any Nigerians on the ball, they are under pressure immediately. And so they've done well, and it seems like they'd probably be the happier of the two teams going into that halftime break.
But the downside of that, Gloria, is that yes, you are absorbing all of that pressure, but at some point you're going to buckle.
Definitely, and I think it's very difficult to defend for 90 minutes. But if you've prepared for that and tried to catch them in the transition, it might be the game plan, because you're definitely seeing a very compact Cameroonian team. You're looking at a very, very disciplined Cameroonian team. Johnson has been a revelation in that defense, marshaled it very well, made sure she communicates when necessary, as well as Gabriela Bau, who is the goalkeeper. She's really been excellent thus far for Cameroon. And you're also starting to see a frustration creeping in on the Nigerian side. They're throwing quite a number of attacks. They've really been the better side of the two in the attacking third, but it is still very early. You go in, first 45 is definitely where the two sides feel one another, and in the second half, that is when you take your opportunities. You try and create forced errors to let the opposition buckle, and I think we're seeing a midfield battle here, where you're really fighting. Onumunu doing very well for Nigeria, but maybe the formation for Nigeria might need to change a little, because they're up against 5 players in the midfield that are really working hard for one another. That is in Cameroon. Mbelek, Daba and Ombodu, they've really worked hard and not left anything to turn.
And of course, we saw there the referee from the Eastern Cape, or Akona Makalima, giving Umbelek that yellow card. And just looking at those halftime statistics, it is really showing that Nigeria are dominating, having the lion's share of ball possession at 55.5%. Majority of the total attempts have come through from the Super Falcons, nothing on target as yet, versus the Cameroonian side that has little possession compared to Nigeria, but at least have had that solitary attempt on target.
I don't think they really had an attempt that has threatened the goal of Ndozi in any way. At this point in time, Cameroon are not really focused on going forward. I feel for the likes of, obviously, Mchut and Abam, there hasn't been much support. They do get it, but they're lonely figures up front there. But I must say, as much as they are sitting back, I think on the part of Nigeria as well, they've not been throwing numbers forward. So they've been very cautious in the way they attack as well. And that's why Onumunu finds herself also at times a lonely figure, where she's getting possession of it. They're playing her through. She's getting possession of it, but then there are not enough numbers showing up in time, so she's getting stuck on the ball, and it looks like she's taking too long on the ball, but she doesn't have any options. And so that's been basically how the game is played on both ends. But Nigeria now, I think, will step it up. But I must, one standout player for me, Ayinde, in the middle of the park for Nigeria. She's been absolutely superb. She's the one that nearly got Onumunu through on goal, but her ability to win balls and then at the same time start the play, she's been a great midfielder. And that battle with Ombodu is going to be something to watch in the second half.
I think, Paulie, what was interesting in that stat is the accuracy of the passes. It's been very, very low. You're talking about 64% and a 66%. And these are two teams that are basically speaking to the fact that the fouls are high, 12 for Cameroon and 6 on the other side. And when you're talking about the passing accuracy, that is the stop-start, them not finding their players at will, them making sure that they disrupt play, because that is exactly what either one is trying to do, is not to allow the game to flow as freely and to make sure that they don't find their players very easily.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Every time any player is in possession of the ball, nobody has time on the ball to pick a pass and to find their passes, because that's the intensity that first half was played at. It wasn't pretty viewing, but as a former midfielder, I love the grit and the determination that both sides are showing in that midfield. Some of the tackles that went in, really solid. Nothing malicious, but everything it shows great desire on both parts. And you can see how much it means to both these teams. And that's what's made that battle so key. And I think whoever is able to sustain it the longer in the second half, that's going to be the telling factor.
And especially in that first half, things really did start off a little bit slowly as the teams were just trying to weigh up against each other. But we see in terms of those corner kicks, Nigeria having the superior number in terms of 4. But Bau, the goalkeeper for Cameroon, really making sure that she doesn't concede at that stage of the game.
Absolutely, and then again, in that particular set piece, Nigeria had the numbers in the box, which really made it a bit unpleasant and very difficult for Cameroon to deal with that. Goalkeeper came out, but she did not seem very confident at the time. Plumtree, who is expected to be that go-to person with her height, you can see the goalkeeper there just getting and doing enough.
Yeah.
But I'm not too convinced at that particular moment that she was really confident. I think a nervous start, definitely for the goalkeeper.
I mean, it's a crowded box, and if you can see, there's so many imposing figures in that 18 area. And if you look at it, this game could come down to one of those plays, could come down to a set play. Both sides have imposing figures, and if they really impose themselves, look at, I mean, the bodies that are moving around, in and around Badu there. When the ball goes to the far post, it gets knocked back down into that 6-yard area. It's always going to be uncertain, but Johnson does well there to just take it out of danger, away from danger. But look how quickly she recovers. That's what's remarkable. She gets back on her feet as quick as possible, gets a hand on it, plays a bit of basketball, but grabs it ultimately. And so that's what it's going to come down to. Literally, you know, those... It's going to be minute things that are going to be the difference between these two teams, because both teams, I can tell you, are up for it today.
Absolutely. And in terms of Cameroon's defense, that has been the team that really has been tested. We have a look here. Nigeria really wasting time. We look at Onumunu there, who could have maybe just gone on and kind of tried to find the back of the net, but Johnson doing so well to make sure she doesn't go past.
That is important for a defender. You don't need to really worry. You just got to stay on your feet. At the same time, you're communicating with the players behind you. And Johnson done exceptionally well to stay on her feet, to also force Onumunu out, which allowed Cameroon to get the numbers to organize. Having said that, it was important for players like Uchebe, Ayinde, for Okobi Okche to also join in the attack. None of that was happening for Nigeria. And that is where the frustration came in. They're creating too much of a space between the person having the ball when they are in attack and joining the attack, and I think that has really been the downfall at the moment.
When the game started, we spoke about the 3 at the back. If we can play it again, you'll see exactly what we mean. The 3 defenders, Johnson, Awona, Mefo, Metu. Look at that. If we pause it right there, it's literally 1 against 3. Those are the 3 centre backs against Onumunu there, and the numbers that are going to join in take too long to join in. So, I mean, Onumunu does get on the ball, and you can actually, you can see her frustration. I mean, if we let it play out, you can literally see that she does get frustrated purely because she holds it up there. She's looking up.
No assistance.
Is there support?
No.
She stops. She turns. Still no support arriving. And she has to take, you know, too long on the ball. Where literally Payne should have been showing up, the right back now should have come through and given her an option. No options coming through. And then again, Nigeria, they don't want to risk anything as well. Cameroon not willing to risk much, and that's how the first half has pretty much played out.
And again, just to add to that, Mark, you would also expect Plumtree, who has been very instrumental in joining the attack, coming from the blind side, because the minute Onumunu is pushed out wide, she needs to pick her head up and look for a player coming from the blind side, whooping across. None of that is happening today, but you can see it's with respect, it's with caution.
Yeah.
I don't think they really are hasty. Perhaps now it's going to go to the fitness levels to say, in the second half, let's turn on the screws, let's make sure that we're going to force that error that we're looking for, definitely going to the finer margin.
It really has been calculated and quite strategic as Cameroon continued to absorb the pressure, and once again the goalkeeper coming through with that critical save.
The handling is critical. I mean, she rises beautifully and she collects the ball absolutely beautifully. That's flawless technique. Gloria will maybe say more about that as a former goalkeeper, but she does absolutely beautifully. We saw yesterday Zambia got back into the game because of a handling error on the part of the Senegalese goalkeeper, and you can't afford those kind of mistakes at this level of the game. And so absolutely beautiful handling there from Bado.
picking it at its highest point, making sure you don't put yourself under any pressure, being absolutely confident, and you can actually see that when she grabs that ball in the air. Confidence is an absolute important part. She goes out, she knows she can see the players coming in, and she's not even deterred. Yeah. She knows what she wants to do, and I mean, that handling is exactly what they need to just cement that defensive ability that they have right now.
We are looking at two teams who come into this quarter-final on the back of 2 clean sheets, which has been absolutely impressive. But at this stage, it's goals really that are going to take you through to the semi-finals. What now needs to happen, especially on the side of Cameroon, going into the second half? Because you don't want a situation where you are prolonging things into extra time and, of course, the lottery of penalties.
This is now where the point I made at the beginning of the game, where it could come down to the bench. And this is why your bench is so important, and it could literally come down to depth. And as I said earlier, Nigeria have someone like Kanu, who scored 2 goals in the last game, that they can look to come off the bench, and it literally could come down to how deep the bench is. And I think fitness, as Gloria said, is going to play a major factor now in the second half. Yes, they've already played their 3 group games. You know, there are going to be some tired legs out there. So ultimately, the fitted team now might be the standout team. The team that makes the right substitutions might be the difference. So ultimately, it's going to come down to the coaching as well. So which coach is now going to win the game for their team?
For me, Cameroon, it's probably in the middle of a park where you see they're putting in so much effort where they could lose their legs, and maybe just bringing in a Yango as well as a Ngok in the middle of, just to enforce and just keep it pretty tight. Because if you block your defense from the middle of the park, it makes it more difficult to penetrate.
A critical semi-final spot is at stake. Cameroon up against Nigeria. It is coach Gabriel Zabo that is up against coach Randy Waldrum. A coach in terms of Nigeria who's really been feeling the heat, because for the first time in their qualification process, they actually lost when they took on Ghana. And of course, in their opening match in Group C, lost to Banyana. So really all the pressure, because they want Nigeria to go through and clinch the 12th title.
A love-hate relationship with the Nigerian fans, I must say, because this is the coach who wanted it 3 years ago and does get it now. But definitely he's got a lot going for himself. He's got the best players, and he should. The pressure's on.
Oh, the big question is, can Cameroon, the indomitable Lionesses, dethrone the Super Falcons of Nigeria? We find out in the second half.
I was pissed at you. I was mad too. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I know I did to love has been paid. I paid that bill.
At Total Energies, we go the extra mile for you.
Hey, this one na Sara. The beat is tana. It go make you manya. Ines is in manya. Oh yeah, make you ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, hey. Make you dance, yeah. Everybody ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, hey. Make you dance, yeah. Everybody ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, hey. Make you dance, yeah.
Asibonge ke kakhulu ke kuwena ke Mazondo, uGloria kanjalo ke no Marcus Kings ke, njengoba ke samukela ke isombe esesibili ke phakathi ke komdlalo omkhulu ke kakhulu ke umkhumula jezi quarter final, njengoba ke womabili ke amaqembu ke efuna ke ukuzibekela ke indawo kuona ke ama semi finals. Siyeke ekhefini ke sithi ke not Nigeria and not futhi ke iyona ke iCameroon. So bheka ke ukuthi ke ngabe ke zikhona yini ke inguquko ezenziwe ke abaqeqeshi, njengoba ke unophephe ebabiza siza ke abadlali ke ukuthi ke alibuye ke manje ibhola ke lizosuka u45 minutes ke wokugcina lo asazi ke noma ke sizolibona igoli noma ke kuzokwenzeka isimo ke esisibone ke izolo ke njengoba ke iZambia neSenegal badlale ke baze ke bayofika ke kuyona ke extra time kwashawa ke ama penalty nawo ke lo mdlalo uyakhombisa ukuthi ke unzima ngempela amazwe ke ngempela ke anzima njengoba ke mehlangene ngempela kuba ke nzima ke kugutshani namanje ke ikona ke esikulindele ke lokho ngesombe sokuqala iNigeria iyona kade ke ibamba kakhulu ke ibhola iball possession ibona ke ekade ke iwela ke kakhulu ke ngabona amakhona futhi iCameroon ayizange ithole ngisho ke neyodwa njengoba ke iNigeria ke ithole ke amakhona aze ke abamane kodwa ke konke lokho akusho lutho ngoba ke bahlulekile ukuthi ke bashaye ke ugoalkeeper lapha emapalini obhawu wakhona ke eCameroon naba benza ke iphutha kodwa ke ngenhlanhla ke liyabaqeza ke abayo ke iCameroon leliya bhola nje iphutha nje umzuzu ke usawodwa nje ebhodini uyabona ke ukuthi ke sikhona ke inkulumo ke abaqeqeshi abayishilo ke ikakhulukazi ke kulabo abagadli baseCameroon ukuthi ke iyani kubona ngoba ke laphana ke emuva oPlumtree nabo ke oEbi bathanda ukuthi ke lingabikhona ke ijubane kodwa indlela abafunda ngayo igame ama movements abo noma ke ibhola ke lingekho kubona lihle bahle ke kakhulu kodwa ke mangabe ibhola ke lizoba seyinyaweni zeCameroon okhona ke okuzokwenzeka ngoba ke ukapteni ongene naye ke uyingozi ke kakhulu yabona ke iguquko azikho abuye ke enje ngoba ke enjalo ke amaqembu kodlala ke amazwe ngempela namhlanje bahlangana ke oka14 eCameroon ke isawine ke umdlalo ke waba wodwa kuleyo mdlalo ke njengoba ke bagcina ke ukushaya ke iNigeria ngo2012 laphana ke iEquatorial Guinea bebadla ke ngawo ke u1-0 kanti ke ngesikhathi ke begcina ukuhlangana 2018 eNigeria ke iyona ke eyanqoba ngemuva ke kokuthi sekushawa ama penalty umdlalo ke upheleke ngedraw ka not asazi ke noma ke namanje sizobona ke into ke efanayo njengoba ke icontroller nje ibhola kamnandi esingise center eCameroon ke uyena laphana ke Ombudu ulibuyisela ke emuva kancane banikeza Cheno Cheno ke ufuna ke ukapteni ongene base ke bemthathela lithathwa ke uyena ke laphana ke Ajibade libuya no Plumtree oyaphakamisa Plumtree kodwa ke ukhona Johnson dlala kahle kakhulu ke le center back Johnson asibone manje ke ijubane ngakwesokunxele Nzana oyaligoba manje ke lifuna amakhadi eboxini uNzana kodwa ke alitholi umuntu waseCameroon leli yabhola ke lakhe uNzana base ke belixosha manje ke abayo ke eNigeria ijubane manje Francis Odega oyabheka Ondega asibone manje ukuthi wenze njani Odega afuna ukudlula ngenkani oyavala kodwa ke laphana ke emuva yena ke abona bamlahla phansi osala phansi ke yena ke Odega ade makwa ke uyena ke uDabda bekumele ke enzeke kangcono ke yena ke Odega ngoba ke ibhola ureceive eyedwa enesikhathi sonke waphakamisa amehlo bengithi ke uzoshaya icross abone ukuthi ke boxini uthola bani yena waba neconfidence kakhulu wafuna ukujika kanti ke cha uDabda akwenziwa ke lokho kuyena throw in kuthiwa ke ayibuye ke izophoswa iyona iCameroon Colette Nzana oyatfosa uNzana liyabuya manje ke libuya ke naye ke Rashidati Ajibade zamshaya lapha Ajibade eceleni ke kwepali obebhekile eligadile ke leliyabhola ke goalkeeper Bawo ebona nje ukuthi ke abike nakancane ke epalini ke lakhe muhle ke lo goalkeeper nangade khahlela nje ekude Ajibade 23 years adlala ke kuyona ke Atletico Madrid eSpain Ajibade futhi Oceano Onumonu ubuyisela Ajibade oyayiphasa Ajibade onikeza yena futhi ke Onumonu badlala nje 1-2 wafika no Plumtree wabajoyina nabadlali 1-2 Plumtree ayingozi ka ama cross ka Plumtree kodwa ke cha abedlala kamnandi uJohnson oyafika azokhava nje la kovula kakhona ipace yena ke uJohnson awubheke namanje akuthi ke ubonile ukuthi ke ngala ke I right back isele wafika ke wazolungisa ke lo monakalo base ke bebuya futhi ke belungisa ke I defense ke abase Cameroon Michaela Abam 25 years amgadli we Cameroon Makalima uthi ke atphoso ke iyona futhi ke I Cameroon Onzana odlala ke ngonyawo lesinxele unama cross amahle futhi throw in amakhadi manje nangeni beka phansi ke ngesifuba Abam sala phansi uNopepe uyakhuza unikeza I free kick onikeza ke iyona ke I Cameroon ebike uyena ke okuthiwa ke udlale kabi 39 years yena ke uEbi asibone ke le free kick uthi ke izoshawa ubani bazoyishaya ke kanjani ke futhi abakhona ke laphana ke eCameroon izolo sibone enhle free kick yeBotswana ngonyaka lesinxele bayinamathela phakathi naba ke beyidlala kodwa ke ibhola ke lishayisha emzimbeni awakhe ke laphana okobi liyahamba liya ke lapha ngaphandle bekuzama ke yena futhi ke unzana 22 years yabona ke ugoalkeeper wase Nigeria Naduzi awukho ke umsebenzi ke omkhulu ke awenzile ngesombe ke soqala sizobona ke manje ke ngesombe ke esesibili ukuthi ke ipattern iCameroon abo babili ke goalkeeper bana 22 years anaduze ngapha wase Nigeria awubawu ngapha futhi ke kuyona ke iCameroon asibone manje ke laphana ke obodu bayamphuca lapha obodu uyabuya manje lapha Nzana wafaka ijubane uNzana nangebeka kamnandi asibone manje ke lebhola kodwa liyabaceza abayo ke iCameroon kuthiwa abuye ke lizophoswa yabona ke lapha ngakwesokunxele uyingozi uNzana manje bengamsebenzisa abase Cameroon okhona ke aphethe okholethi Nzana throw in Cheno bayaphosa banikeza yena Mbelek athole yellow card ngesombe soqala sibone nelithuba lapha celeni kwepali captain ongene 33 years yena ke obezama ubheka ibhola ke liwe lapha ngaphakathi keboxini walivala kamnandi wathi ke uyaqeda kodwa ke lase ke liphuma ke eceleni kwepali thwala izandla ekhanda uyazi ukuthi ke bekufanele enze kangcono yena ke ucaptain